What's going on, everybody? RJ Ochoa here from SB Nation's bloggingtheboys.com. Hope all is well wherever you are. We hope you're happy, safe, healthy, and that you found a way to somehow still enjoy the Dallas Cowboys season opener. A 31-29 loss to the defending world champion Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Obviously, we all wish the Cowboys had won, but we saw a lot of really good things. In fact, we saw a lot of things that are worth celebrating, which is why we are here right now. After every Dallas Cowboys game, we have highlights from the contest available for you right here on the Blog of the Boys YouTube channel. Please do subscribe. So without further ado, let's go ahead and begin. The game was all about Dak Prescott, his very first throw in 333 days that we have seen. Boom, Amari Cooper. Seriously, Amari is one of the best route runners in the NFL, but he doesn't have to do much here because it's just there. And that's what Amari's great at, taking what the defense gives him. Dak Prescott does a great job finding him. Love to see the Cowboys come out firing even deep in their own territory. Time to get into the other territory, though. Dak finds CeeDee Lamb. Hello. I don't know if you are like this, but I was kind of worried he didn't score at first just off the initial moment, but obviously we saw all the angles that justified CeeDee getting in the end zone. Look at this, though. This is really smart of CeeDee. Just stopping, waiting. This is great design by Kellen Moore, assessing what's about to happen. Take a moment, take a deep breath. Okay, let's go. Let's party. Here we go. Boom. Get open, CeeDee. Do your thing and find a way to get into the end zone. Like I said, a little bit of worry and concern in the initial moment that he didn't get in. His body was weirdly at the edge of the end zone right there. But ultimately, an easy touchdown for CeeDee Lamb, the very first one of the season for the Dallas Cowboys. Great job holding onto the ball. His left knee staying just above the ground. You love to see it. CeeDee, let's do it again, baby. Go PA. Go CeeDee. Let's do it. CeeDee, the yak god, picking up some nice yards after the catch right there. This is wonderful from Dak. Look at this. Right there, you can see where CeeDee has a moment. And that's the type of offensive design that we want to see from Kellen Moore. This is why we love play action. Chris Collinsworth, who was on the call for this game, has a quote that I love. He said on NFL Total Access a couple of years ago, people love to say that you have to establish the run. That is not true. Play action is effective regardless of how you are running the football. As Chris Collinsworth and many people have said before, it is about the reaction of linebackers, the reaction of secondary players, the reaction of the defense to body movements, to anything. That tiny little advantage, this tiny little pause that we're talking about right here, is enough separation that elite wide receivers, although this was a tough game for him, like CeeDee Lamb ultimately need, and especially like elite quarterbacks like Dak Prescott need. Let's play the clip, find him, fire. Boom, gain. Great throw by Dak Prescott. Great play overall. You love to see it. Dak firing, looking perfect in a number of different ways. Something that wasn't perfect. This. Yikes. Greg Zuerlein, dude, seriously. Not much to say. You can't miss 31-yarders. You can't expect to win that way. All right, here we go. Time. Tank Lawrence. Put that ball on the ground. Pick it up, Randy Gregory. This was so awesome to see. Cowboys needed a turnover at this point in time. You always need a turnover, to be fair. And we love to see DeMarcus Lawrence doing it. Punch that right there. Love this. Absolutely love this. We've seen Dan Quinn and the Cowboys defense focusing so much on forcing turnovers, punching the ball out, stripping it. We saw that from Keanu Neal in Arizona in the preseason game. This is just, well done, Tank. And you get that ball on the ground, and then it's everybody scramble, try to get it. Great job by Randy Gregory being the one to pick it up, being the one to ultimately give the Cowboys a possession. Cowboys defense giving their offense a short field early in this game, early in the season. They went 4 straight games not doing anything really of this variety at the beginning of last season. You love to see this. All right, you love to see this. Dak, find a way. Fire. Amari, touchdown. He's so good. I think we forget how good Amari Cooper is so often. It really is a shame. Amari Cooper is amazing. Look at this ball. Dak Prescott, this is going to be a touchdown. That's amazing when you look at it. I think Tyler Biadasz had an okay game. Connor McGovern really had such an incredible game. One of the winners I had in my winners, losers, and honorable mentions at bloggingtheboys.com. Not the best snap, but Dak Prescott, as we all know, calm, cool, collected under pressure, doesn't panic, finds a way, picks it up, gets his handset, finds Amari Cooper, and delivers a perfect strike. Amari using his body to protect the ball. You love to see it. Amari, get those tippy toes in. Had a little bit more room for error. It's not like Amari was up against the edge here, but a very nice play, very nice control by Amari Cooper. You love to see this awesome touchdown from the Cowboys. Things begin to unravel a bit there Extra point. You can't miss, Greg Zuerlein, seriously. And so this felt a little bit wonky at this point in time. Felt like things were, whoa, what's going to happen for the Cowboys? We need to get some positive momentum back. Greg Zuerlein's trying to get it all away. And that's when Trayvon Diggs showed up and said, hello, Leonard Fournette. Oop. Thank you. Great job. Now, look, you can't count on tip balls all the time in the NFL, but you have to take advantage of them when they come your way. Go celebrate, guys. You deserve it. This is Tom Brady just doing a normal thing, and Leonard Fournette, that's on Leonard Fournette. You got to catch that. I mean, if you're a Bucs fan and you're watching this, you are pissed off at Leonard Fournette. And again, you can't count on these things. We would love to see these corners, these safeties, these linebackers, whoever breaking on routes, breaking on balls, and getting those kinds of interceptions. Those are a little bit more satisfying as a football fan, but we'll take this. I mean, at the end of the day, this counts just the same. Trayvon Diggs does a great job swooping in, getting his hands on that ball, giving the Cowboys the ball at the Tampa Bay 21-yard line. Unfortunately, the Cowboys were not able to cash that in all the way, but this is the type of play that can swing games. This is the type of play that can swing seasons if they happen often enough. Great job. And Greg Zuerlein is able to cash in on this one, although that field goal started off a little bit left, a little bit scary right there. Greg Zuerlein, seriously, Cowboys figured out. Now, I want to talk about this. This is a terrible idea. This is just a terrible idea from the Dallas Cowboys. This is a 60-yard field goal attempt from Greg Zuerlein, who at this point in time, because you're watching this, you know has missed 2 kicks in this quarter. This very quarter, Greg Zuerlein has missed a 31-yard field goal attempt and an extra point. Greg Zuerlein last year on attempts from 50 yards or further out was 3 of 9. That means he made 3 and missed 6. Greg Zuerlein is 2 weeks removed from being on the PUP list after having surgery this offseason. Sending him out there to attempt a 60-yard field goal in general is irresponsible at this point in time. It becomes even more irresponsible when you factor in, obviously, what happened in this game with him missing kicks. It becomes even more irresponsible when you factor in that if you miss this kick, you are giving the other team incredible field position with about 17, 15 seconds left to go in the half. A team that, by the way, has been gashing you deep with Antonio Brown against Anthony Brown, with whoever against Anthony Brown ultimately. And by the way, a team who is led by the greatest quarterback of all time and arguably the greatest skill position group in the NFL, all due respect to the Cowboys. So this was not a good idea. And lo and behold, I mean, this one I don't even put on Greg Zuerlein. This is a hard kick to make, and he gets kind of close, but this was a bad decision for the Cowboys. It did not come back to burn them, but it could have, and that is the point. These are the decisions that you cannot make in the NFL. This was not a good one from Mike McCarthy and John Fossil. And the reason we know that to be true is because Tom Brady, in the final moments of the first half, gets the ball in the end zone. I mean, he's older, but he's still able to get that ball over there. Jordan Lewis picks this thing off, and that's a great thing. But the fact that this ball is even in the airspace of the end zone is terrifying. But great job by Jordan Lewis, Maurice Kennedy, DeMonte Casey, trying to get out, trying to really swing this. This would have been an incredible turn of events if they'd been able to ultimately cash in, but they were not. Great job. You know, J-Ron Kearse getting his hands on the ball. Trayvon Diggs there in the mix just kind of falls into Jordan's hands. You're going to take that 100 out of 100 times, but this should not have happened is the point that we are ultimately trying to make at the end of the first half. Now, second half, here we go. Buckle up. Let's begin. This play, Zeke, you gotta get in the end zone here. This is an important moment. This is a critical moment for the Dallas Cowboys. This is their first possession of the second half. They have to get in the end zone. If Zeke gets in the end zone here, the Cowboys take a lead. They never had a lead until the very final moments of the game before the Bucs went and won this. This would have been a statement from the Dallas Cowboys if Zeke had been able to get into the end zone. And Blake Jarwin up top, you see that right there, right at the goal line? You got to make that block, man. There's a reason that Dalton Schultz gets on the field ahead of you. It's because he's a better blocker. Dak Prescott's done everything he can. He's getting blasted as we've paused this. I've said paused. I can't even pause myself. As we've paused this clip, Dak Prescott's getting blasted. Everybody wondered at this point in time. Everybody talked about at halftime. Why didn't Zeke get more touches? Why wasn't there a stronger emphasis on the running game? Because of what happens here. Zeke, you got to make him miss. You got to make this guy miss. And he doesn't. And Zeke ultimately gets tackled. And what can you do? I mean, it's tough cookies. I mean, look at Dak. I mean, Dak does everything right and then gets blasted by Jason Pierre-Paul. And look at Blake Jarwin down here right by the screen that I'm in here. Blake, you've got to make this block. This is an important moment. This is just as big of a miss as the decision to have Greg Zuerlein kick that 60-yarder, as Greg Zuerlein's literal miss on the 31-yarder. This is one of the moments where the game was lost for the Dallas Cowboys, or rather where the game could have been won. But unfortunately, it wasn't. Zeke can't get through. The Cowboys are stopped, and they have to settle for a field goal. You really hate to see it. A tough moment for the Cowboys offense, a tough moment for the team in general. But Greg Zuerlein able to make this one, but it's kind of tough. Like, that's sneaky inside from Greg Zuerlein. I think we'll all be watching all his attempts with bated breath moving on. Now, let's get going here. Dak Prescott, this one's such a shame too. Fire. That is such a deep, perfect throw. We saw this obviously on replay. It looked like it was thrown into a lot of traffic. Yes, there's a lot of people there, but CeeDee Lamb has to make this catch. You look at Dak Prescott, what he sees. Again, play action, and right now Dak's looking. Let's pause it right there. And that's tough. That's a hard throw to make. That's CeeDee Lamb in the middle of a bunch of Buccaneers. We all realize this, but Dak Prescott knows that he can put things on a rope. He can hit that dot, and he ultimately does. CeeDee Lamb, it hits him right in the hands. And if you want to be the elite wide receiver that we're all hyping you up to be, let's look at this right here. CeeDee, that's in your hands. You have to make this catch. This has to be a catch. There's no excuse for this. People want to say, look at all the bucks around him. There's $3 there. Yeah, there's $3. And Dak Prescott put it on threaded a needle. This is an elite throw from Dak Prescott. And it's a shame that CeeDee Lamb can't hang on. The ball is tipped. Bad things happen when the ball is tipped. This is the best angle that really puts it on CeeDee right there. That is on CeeDee Lamb. There's no excuse. Antoine Winfield's right there, and he's ultimately going to come in hot, and CeeDee's obviously sensing that. But CeeDee, we've seen him make big contested catches before. We saw that very early in his rookie season last year when Dak Prescott was still playing. CeeDee Lamb had a probably his worst game as a pro, definitely his worst game with Dak Prescott last night on Thursday night. CeeDee, you have to make this catch. There's no excuse for this, especially because this ultimately winds up being a turnover, and that's a really disappointing result after such a beautiful throw from Dak Prescott. But let's move on. Let's get in the end zone. Dak, Amari, boom! Everybody's a little bit worried after this. Amari looked like he got hurt, but he is so smooth. This doesn't look advanced. It just looks simple, but that's the Amari Cooper way. He is so special. Wide receiver one, we forget that so often. A great multi-touchdown performance from Amari Cooper. Now let's go back to the Bucs side of things. Chris Godwin, this looked like it was about to end the game. Boom! Ball's on the ground. Jordan Lewis, I don't have a problem with him running this out. I think Jordan might have thought he might have been out. You got to be safe, but unfortunately runs into Trayvon Diggs. This was really terrifying right here. And you look at Trayvon's right there, and that's an important point here. Watch Trayvon Diggs, and his helmet even comes off, obviously. I'm not saying that Trayvon's at fault or anything here, but you will see Jordan Lewis run into him on the way out in just a moment. Great job by DeMonte KZ. That's great, obviously, technique to get that tackled, and maybe something good happens. And right there, Jordan Lewis runs into Trayvon Diggs. Again, he's not going to pick up much more yards after this, but just an unfortunate situation that he runs into his own teammate in that moment. And seriously, there's a little bit of luck involved here, but when you tackle like that, when you go at things with the proper technique, good things do happen. This is a great job by DeMonte KZ. And again, a great job by Jordan Lewis. I understand if he thinks he was, outside, you got to get out, because if you are outside, you get tackled in, that's a safety. Jordan Lewis doing everything he can to give his team an opportunity. And we all really thought that things were going to turn for the positive here for the Cowboys, but unfortunately, as we all know, they did not. They're able to get down, though. They're able to get into striking distance. And because of this great CeeDee Lamb catch, the Yak God, as we've mentioned many times before, out of Oklahoma, we all know that CeeDee Lamb is capable of a lot of great things after the catch, and it's just simple for him too. This is perfect. This is the CeeDee Lamb that we've expected to see for so long, which is what made this game frustrating. Great job to help his team out here in this particular moment. Great job by Dak hanging in the very last second, getting his man the ball, giving his team an opportunity to win this game, and he puts his team in an opportunity to win this game because Greg Zuerlein, to his credit, comes out and boots this beautifully, wonderfully. Great job by Greg Zuerlein. This kick is on the money, and it's hard to really be upset with Greg Zuerlein for that moment in particular. If they'd won the game, we'd all be pumped. Let's go, though, to Tom Brady as the Bucs are trying to drive. Chris Godwin, I know this is highlights here. I know that the point here is to shed light on positive things for the Cowboys, but This is offensive pass interference if I've ever seen it. And I think it's offensive pass interference if you've ever seen it. Let's pause it right there. Look at this. We're going to pause it and unpause it. Going to go really slow. Jordan Lewis is not doing anything wrong. Jordan Lewis is playing his man. And Chris Godwin, look at that arm extension. They talk about that all the time. If your arm is out, you're at fault. And Chris Godwin gets away with one right here. This is the play that ultimately wins it for the Bucs. As we know, Chris Godwin absolutely pushed off. This is 100% offensive pass interference, and the fact that it was not called is just another unfortunate part of the night. Jordan Lewis falls back. What can you do? Really, really, really frustrating. A frustrating night in general for the Cowboys in a lot of senses, but they did look really good. They did look really promising. They gave us a lot of things to feel optimistic about, and that is something. That is something to take into next week, and I realize it's a long time until the Cowboys play again. They'll visit the Chargers next Sunday, obviously, but I think we all do feel more optimistic and more confident in this team than we did before Thursday night's game against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. It's hard to call it and to classify it as a moral victory or a moral win, but it really was that. They lost, but we arguably feel better about them than we did before the game started. Obviously, we would have felt even better if they'd won this game, but you can't get everything that you want. I don't know who sang that song. I know I've asked before. Either way, nice performance from the Cowboys. Lots to build on, lots to be excited about. It's going to be a fun season. We're going to have you covered throughout it, all here on the Blog and the Boys YouTube channel. Make sure you do subscribe. We will have these highlights available for you after every single Dallas Cowboys game. So, yeah, that about does it. Thanks for joining us, everybody. See you next time.